In this video, I'm going to show you some of Gmail's features that I personally use all of the time, both on desktop and in the mobile app. I can't promise that all of these tips will be new to you, but hopefully there's something in here for everyone. As always, you can skip ahead using the time tags in the description, so let's get started. And first off is a feature that I use more than any other, and that is to filter messages like these. Labeling and filtering messages are a big part of any email client, but Gmail makes it super easy. Select a message such as this one, click on the ellipsis icon for more options, and choose Filter Messages like these. By default, Gmail filters on the sender's address, but you can opt to change this to be specific words in the subject line or in the content of the email itself. Clicking on Filter gives you several options of what to do with these messages, and my preference is to move them out of my inbox and into a label. So I'll tick on the box here and choose Create a New Label. I'll also tick the box to have future emails skip my inbox, and importantly, I'll apply the filter to include existing messages that I've already received. And there we have it. All those alert messages have now been moved out of my inbox, and I can access them at any time from the sidebar. Unfortunately, you can't do the same thing on the mobile app, well, at least not on iPhone, but you can quite easily move individual emails off to a folder by using the swipe left and right options. If you click on the menu icon and scroll down to settings, you don't have many options here, but you can change the email swipe actions. My preference is to swipe right to move an email from my inbox off to a label and to swipe left to delete it, but you can change these actions to suit your own preferences. Having set my swipe actions, now when I swipe right on this invoice, I get the option to either add it to an existing label or create a new one by clicking on the plus button, which I'll do. I'll call my new label Invoices, and there we have it. Any new invoices that comes in, I can simply swipe right and apply them to the label. We'll stick with the mobile app for my next tip, which is dealing with multiple accounts. I find this easier in the mobile app than on desktop. To add an additional account, click on your profile icon in the top right of the screen and choose Add Another Account. Note that it doesn't have to be a Google account, but in this example, I'll be adding another Gmail address, so I'll click on Google. Click Continue, provide your account credentials, and that's it. I can now see Rufus's inbox. If I click on the profile icon, I can switch over to Wilson's account, and when replying to a message, Google is smart enough to know which account the email was delivered to and will reply using the corresponding email address. If I cancel out of this and go back into the inbox and click on the menu icon, I can choose to view both inboxes at once. And again, when replying to a message, the app knows to use the address that the email was sent to. Back on the desktop version of Gmail, another feature that I use a lot is to turn emails into tasks. Here I've received an email from the boss to complete a sales report by Thursday. So I don't forget it, I'll click on the Add to Task icon, which opens up the task pane on the right of the window. Click Get Started and a task is automatically created using the subject line as the title. I can set a time and date for my task, and now if I go back into my inbox, I can access the email at any time by clicking on the link in the task. If you don't use Google Meets or Hangouts all that frequently, you can give yourself more real estate by removing them. Click on the settings icon in the top right of the window, choose See All Settings and click on the Chat and Meet tab. Here you can choose to disable chats and hide Google Meets. Saving your changes will bring you back to your inbox, and you can see I now have more space to view all of my menu options. Other features that I like to use frequently are Snooze and Mute. Here I received an email from the boss asking about Christmas party recommendations. I'm too busy to deal with it right now, so instead I'll select the email and choose Snooze from the menu. I can snooze for a predefined time, or I can set a custom time and date. When snoozed, the email is removed from my inbox, but I can always get back to it by clicking on Snooze in the menu. At the end of the snooze period, the email will return to my inbox. Like Snooze, Mute allows you to remove email threads from your inbox, limiting annoying distractions. Here I'm being bombarded with suggestions for movies to watch tonight at the cinema. To stop this thread from filling my inbox, I'll select the emails, click on the ellipsis icon for more options and choose Mute. Unfortunately, unlike with Snooze, there isn't a menu option for muted emails, so to get back to them, you can either search for is:"muted or alternatively select all mail from the menu. Next up are display settings. You probably already know that by clicking on the settings icon, you have several options to change the layout of your inbox. You can choose to sort mail in your inbox in several ways, and my preference is to always keep unread items at the top of my list. If I scroll down a little bit further, I also like to have the reading pane to the right of my inbox, so it looks a little bit more like Outlook and saves me from having to click to open each individual email. If we go back into settings, one of the other options I like to enable, especially if I've been sitting at the computer for a fair while, is to change the theme to dark mode. You have a whole heap of options here, but next to the default theme is the dark theme, which is slightly easier on your eyes. My second to last tip is to turn on Smart Compose. In my opinion, this is where Gmail is miles ahead of the competition. Turn it on by clicking on Settings, choosing All Settings and scrolling down to Smart Compose. I recommend enabling both Smart Compose and personalizations, which will allow Google to adapt the feature to your own personal style of writing. Remember to save your settings, and now when I create a new email and start typing, Google will provide me with autocomplete suggestions. To accept the suggestion, click on the Tab button or just keep writing to ignore it. It's also available in the mobile app. You can see as soon as I start typing, Gmail will offer suggestions, and all I need to do is swipe to accept the suggestion or just keep typing to ignore it. As you use this feature more and more, having enabled that personalization option in Google settings, Gmail will learn to adjust to your writing style to the point where it will almost be finishing all of your sentences for you. Whilst you're on this screen, another tip that you might not be aware of is that you can extend the time limit to undo send. By default, it is set to 5 seconds, which is never long enough for me to realize that I haven't attached the attachment. So you can change this by clicking on Settings, going into All Settings, and here I set the undo period to be 30 seconds, which now gives me ample time to realize my mistake. My final tip is another excellent time saver, and that is to make use of keyboard shortcuts. If you press Shift and / at the same time on your keyboard, Gmail will display a list of all the keyboard shortcuts that are available. The ones below this yellow bar are disabled by default, but simply click here to enable them. You can even customize your own shortcuts by opening Settings, choosing All Settings, clicking on the Advanced tab and enabling this option here. Some of the default keys I use are G followed by B to view my snoozed emails, and then G followed by I to take me back to my inbox. I then also use G and K to open up my task list. If I select one of my emails, another really handy shortcut is simply to press the letter R key, which will initiate a reply. So there we are, that is 10 tips for using Gmail. Let me know if I've missed any, and be sure to visit the website for lots more on Gmail and all your other favourite apps. If you found this video useful, I'd appreciate you giving me a like and hit subscribe for lots more quick tips like this one. Until next time, thank you very much for watching.